The Ford Mustang is one of the most recognizable cars in the entire world. Beloved by the hearts of millions in the US, Germany, Australia, and even India. And it makes a lot of sense why once you realize the Mustang debuted back in 1964 and it hasn't stopped production for 60 years, giving us multiple legendary models along the way. But that doesn't mean that all Mustangs are created equal, sparking the debate amongst car guys as to which Mustang was the worst one. And for years, most people's answer to that question came in the form of this: the 1974 through 78 Mustang II. Now, if these years sound familiar, it's because that's when the gas crisis and emission laws completely changed the automotive landscape, making this generation of Mustang one of the slower ones, only producing 140 horsepower at its peak. But if you were to ask me, that doesn't automatically make this the worst Mustang ever made. In fact, there's a lot more to the story than you'd probably think, and to tell it properly, we need to go back to 1971. Now, this generation of Mustang was well received at the time and still remains a fan favorite. However, some people over at Ford weren't happy with how big the Mustang had gotten, having grown from a compact and lightweight pony car to more of a mid-size car. If you've ever heard people debate whether the Mustang is a pony car or a muscle car, well, this generation here is the main source of that confusion. Included in that group was none other than Lee Iacocca, who told his designers to turn the Mustang into a little jewel. And they had their work cut out for them because, contrary to popular belief, the Mustang II is not just a Pinto with the Mustang badge. So much so that John Clore, a manager at Ford Performance, is quoted saying, "There's less Pinto in a Mustang II than there is Falcon in a 65 Mustang." Sure, a few parts are interchangeable between them, but for the most part, the Mustang II is its own platform. Then in 1973, a year before the new Mustang's release, Ford would win the lottery. Because gas got expensive, and while other car companies were caught off guard with little to fill the new demand, Ford's new compact and fuel-efficient Mustang they've been working on was all ready to go. In fact, it was this gas crisis that gave the marketing department the idea to call it the Mustang II. The reasoning behind it was that the old Mustang would never be able to get you through the crisis affordably, but the Mustang II could, and the people knew this.
Whatever kind of sport you want to be, Mustang II has the car waiting for you. From the handsome MPG to the elegant Kia, the exciting new Cobra II, and lean, racy Stallion. Hardtops and 2+2s. No matter which one you pick, the score is Mustang II, boredom zero.
Upon its release in 1974, Ford sold 386,000 of them. And over the course of its 5-year run, Ford would sell a total of 1.1 million of them. To put that in perspective, the Corvette came out in 1953, and they wouldn't sell 1 million models till 1992. And with sales like that, there was no way Ford would discontinue the Mustang anytime soon, which could have easily happened to it during this time, just like countless of other American models that were. You know, some people say that the Mustang II was just a decent filler car for when the automotive industry was at an all-time low. And that just seems like they're downplaying the crazy success the Mustang II really was. But sales success alone isn't the only thing that makes a car be considered good. If that were the case, us car guys would all be in love with Nissan Altimas and Toyota Camrys. So what about the car itself? Well, as mentioned, it was slow. In fact, the fastest Mustang II from the factory was the 1978 King Cobra, and that only had 140 horsepower, a 0 to 60 time of 9 seconds, and a quarter-mile time of 17.1 seconds. But if speed is the only reason why this Mustang is shunned, where's that attitude towards the original 1964 Mustang? Which, even when equipped with the base V8, was actually slower than the King Cobra. Granted, it's only by a few tenths of a second, but my point still stands. Where I'm getting at here is that the Mustang II itself is not actually a bad car, and the main reason behind the general dislike of them is just people repeating negative things because that's all they've ever heard. However, recently things have been changing. More and more movies and video games have been using Mustang IIs in their media, and they've done a good job at putting them in a positive light for once. Not to mention that now, whenever the question of which Mustang is the worst is asked, most people are quick to say the Mustang Mach-E. And while I'm quick to defend the Mustang II, the Mach-E is on its own. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.